Why, hello there. It seems like you have a very chronic case of brain rot in your cranium. We're going to be just diving in a little bit just to see how advanced this infection might have become or not become. What was that? You don't understand my dialect? Fam, you've got an alpha level of brain rot. Absolutely decimating. Absolutely rotting your brain. Your mom didn't love you enough to keep you away from the iPad, and now your fondest memory might be associated with a man's head in a toilet. Let me rephrase. Your mom's gyat was the best thing about her motherhood. So now, actually, that might have been where her motherhood began and ended, fam. We're going to just analyze where exactly this brain rot is located in your cranium. I'm going to draw a little graph of your brain real quick, fam. How old are you? Oh, wow. Fam, let's just say many parts of your brain haven't even developed enough for you to have access to this level of information, let alone gutter information. What was that? Come here. Do you and your friends identify yourselves by Greek concepts, alpha, beta, and sigma? Is there an omega? Fam, you're using that alphabet and you're not familiar with omega? Okay. So this information that you're learning doesn't even have depth to it. Let's just say that this entire space in your brain is a waste. We're gonna just mark this off as being just a foreign eye inhabiting that of your brain. It's like someone else has planted these thoughts inside your head and is now watching you deteriorate from the inside. You'll never escape the fact that nostalgia for you will mean the most intellectually stunted material. Tell me, can you identify this color for me? This color right here. Nah, fam. Can you identify this color for me, fam? No. It's not the McFlurry. We're frankly gonna have to just examine your skull real quick. It is growing smaller. The human skull is decreasing generation by generation. Fam, do you happen to possess any concept, perhaps, of an attention span? This is vitally important. If someone can shorten your attention span, do I need to play Subway Surfers for you to pay attention to your doctor's medical advice? Here. Fam, if you don't possess an attention span, do you understand how easily programmable you are to this system? That means anyone can basically use your short-term attention span to influence your emotions. Anything that doesn't provide short-term pleasure or gratification will automatically feel unpleasant and you'll push it away. This can involve elements like uncomfortable truths, which means that the future of WALL-E, no, it's not a vintage Disney classic. This is pretty modern of a movie. It came out like 10 years ago. It might be closer to your future than previously estimated or expected. Now, I'm going to just be looking at your brain real quick. I'm going to just click here and click there and click here and click there. How much time would you say you spend playing Among Us? Does that promote a sort of immediate sense of happiness inside of your system to think of Among Us? Have you ever thought of creating like a lore, a mythos behind each colored character? Right. I'm gonna need you to just look into the light. I'm gonna need you to just follow the light for me. I just need to make sure that your attention span is keeping up here. This isn't even a matter of a generational gap. You are basically the end product of a new system in which people are teetering over a society much like idiocracy. Do you think that Gatorade or Monster should be supplied in every watering fountain, at school, or in public buildings? Okay. I'm going to mark right now where it is that we're going to lobotomize you. This portion of your brain must be taken out in order to prevent further rotting. When you think about e-girls, do you feel like that's a staple within modern society, something that cannot be lived without? Yeah, the brain rot is severe. Do you have any ambitions outside of yourself, perhaps? Anything greater to claim? Some nobility? What is that? L's in the chat. Ah, that's interesting. Okay. So, basically what we're going to do is I'm going to put a needle through your eye, right there, through the eyelid. I'm going to just put a needle right through your eye socket. And as it's going through your eye socket, we will then begin to detach this eye, this vision from your mind, so that way it can no longer predict your activity and your nervous system into becoming this obedient, short-minded fool. Now, what was that? No, this is a medical procedure. Could you take it a little more seriously? Just a little more seriously is all I'm asking. W's in the chat is not an appropriate response to a medically necessary lobotomy. So, I am going to just put a little mark right there for when we're going to incise. And before I do, I just need you to tell me if you can feel how sharp this is real quick. Did you feel how sharp that was? You couldn't feel it? You don't really feel a lot anymore? Have you ever felt anything? You only feel a sense of extreme irritation over not getting what you want, or extreme pleasure over getting short-term gratification, but otherwise it's just complete numbness. Do you ever really absorb your surroundings and experience the full senses that are really intrinsic with your innate within your system, like associating smells with deeper memories? No, you're pretty much numb and irritable unless you're receiving pleasure. Tell me, can you feel this? I just scratched your face and you didn't respond, okay? Do you feel this? I just scratched your face again deeper and it didn't respond. Okay, I'm gonna come closer to your eye, okay? Can you feel that? No. Okay, fam, we're just gonna do a quick little lobotomy, but before we do, I'm just gonna take your pulse just to make sure that you're in good condition or in good health. I'm just gonna take a little check of your heart, right? Okay, so just stay still for me. I'm just gonna check your heart and I'm gonna hear what its beat is basically going at, okay? Let me just skippity toilet, skippity toilet, skippity toilet, skippity toilet, skippity toilet. Your heart rate got a little too excited every time I said skippity toilet. It was almost like there was a jump for joy. Okay. What was that? No, you cannot pay for this medical procedure in V-Bucks. This is almost the need. This is almost an answer to our decline as a society. This is the answer to our salvation. I'm not charging for this. I borderline am begging you to get a lobotomy for your own sake. So that way we could actually have generations of thinkers that might build society up rather than selling it to a digital, illusory landscape owned by curious beings. I'm just going to line up the needle real quick. This will be a very quick process, and I want you to make sure that you're, feeling 100% safe and secure. You probably won't feel it. There we go. Just a quick little crack, crack, crack. Okay. And now I'm just going to disconnect the connections, allowing your brain rot to fester so that way it dies on its own. Okay, good. Okay. And that's it. It was very quick, right? What was that? You don't know what the meaning of your life has been for the past 10 years? Well, I mean, you're gonna have to wrestle with a lot of existential questions, but I mean, that's where a lot of your depth can come from, a lot of your answers, really. So I would highly suggest staying away from degenerate content from now on out, from here on out. Anything that produces short-term gratification, most importantly, and especially anything that has to do with popular social media trends or anything that doesn't sound remotely like English, especially if you find it on certain websites that have very sound-based intros, like basically anything owned by foreign agents. So I'm just going to take your heartbeat real quick. Skippity toilet, skippity toilet, skippity toilet. Your heartbeat is not at all racing anymore. It seems like things are starting to balance out a bit more. How do you feel about White Boy Summer? You just want to honor your ancestors. Okay, that's a more profound answer. How do you feel about perms? Yeah, you just want to make sure that your hair is natural and just taken care of. While you're busy focusing on things that actually matter. Wow, we're reaching a level of profoundness that I thought quite advanced for someone at this level right now. We're going to schedule real quick the follow-up appointment. We're going to be surgically removing your brain rot from your head. This will be a physical structure that we are removing from your brain. It is pretty much not fixable. You can't do anything with it. We'll schedule that for a week from today. And until then, do you have any further questions? Nothing at all? Perfect. Well, in that case, please don't hesitate to message my office. We will be curing you. Ta-ta. That you are in great need of a brain surgery. I am your brain surgeon. My name is Angelica. It is a pleasure to meet you. You say you're hearing a lot of sort of pops in your brain, correct? Yeah, it's like in your sleep, you're just kind of always imitating a swiping up of videos. This is called iPad syndrome. It is affecting many of your generation. Would you say that you spend about, on average, more than 5 hours a day on social media? Yeah, that is clearly not the greatest equation. And you've already received your lobotomy? It's really disconnect that portion of your brain from the rest of your brain. That way it doesn't get too infected. It's rotted out. There was nothing we could do about it. It was as if it was like, have you ever seen a lung after years of smoking? How it's all black and charred? Yeah, those little like sacs, those air sacs just can never be recovered after smoking. So likewise, those pieces of your brain were just black brain. It was just charred out. So we're gonna go in real quick and we're gonna just cut out all of that dead brain from your head. I'm just going to now mark up your head where the incision marks are going to be. So I'm just going to come on in, and I'm just going to mark up exactly where it is that we're going to be opening up your skull. Have you ever watched The Reanimator by well, it's a movie based by H.P. Lovecraft's story, but basically there's scenes of that movie, which is basically what we're going to be doing to you. I'm going to be opening up your skull and then peeling off your skin like an orange peel from your head, just so that way we can really just nip out those dead pieces of brain. The good thing is that from the exams we took is that the dead pieces of brain in your skull are all towards the top of your head, so it's not going to be too invasive of a process at all. So give me one moment. I'm just going to give you a little bit of an anesthetic. I'm going to be injecting it into your system. That way you're really deeply rested. And again. Okay, good. And now I'm going to be putting on my hygienic gloves. That way I keep myself nice and protected. And you nice and protected. But at the same time, it doesn't really seem like you value your lifetime or health. So I'm sure me not wearing gloves is not the most important thing to you just yet, until we remove that dead portion of your brain and you exercise a sense of self-care and a reconciliation with society at large. So now, if you wouldn't mind just putting on this mask. It's a glass mask. It's going to make sure that the gases stay within. I'm going to just put it over your face, and I'm going to be applying the gas, so that way you stay nice and sedated. Okay, good. I'm going to take your temperature, as I'm sure things get a little more dizzy and woozy for you. So stay still for me. I'm just going to go in and take your your heartbeat is definitely getting slower. Okay, very interesting. Well, with all of that now being out of the way, I am now going to begin cutting into your skull and removing the dead brain matter from your head. So, give me one moment. I'm going to grab some tools that are going to serve our purpose quite well. Nurse, do we have my scalpel? No, we only have a pair of scissors. That's a shame. I swear I saw my scalpel oh, here it is. I found my scalpel, nurse, thank you. I'm gonna go in, and I'm just gonna start cutting through your head. So I'm just gonna cut off the first layer of skin real quick. Okay, good. And now I'm going to be cutting through the tissue. Okay, good. And finally, the most difficult part. I'm going to be cracking through your skull. This should be done with a different tool.
I'm going to create just a little crack right here in the center of your head, right here. And I'm just going to put this screwdriver right there. Okay, good. Little crack there. Good little crack right there, and good crack right there, and good. A crack right there. Now I'm going to be separating your skull, that way we can expose the brain matter. Okay, good. And now it's time to just scrape out that brain matter that is just impeding the quality of your life. So I'm just going to go in and just remove that brain matter from your skull. Very nice. My stomach. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Just a little more brain matter out of your head. Very nice. Very good. Okay. Yucky. So, now I'm going to just mark up your head a little bit so that way we know where we're going to be fixing up your head now that we've removed this brain matter. Okay. I'm basically just going to duct tape it back together. That way if you start to return to your bad habits, then it's easy to just reopen your skull again. It's kind of like stapling someone's stomach. It's kind of like that, but for your brain instead. So I'm just going to put this over your head. I'm just going to tape the two sides together. And I'm going to make a cross shape because you need Jesus. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And now I'm just going to date your head. Okay. And add just a little bit of solution to clear the wound. Okay, good. A light is going to be incoming. Tell me if you see it. Good. Tell me when the light comes into your vision. Good. Tell me when the light comes into your vision. Good. Tell Tell me when the light comes into your vision. Good. Tell me when the light comes into your vision. Good. 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 Okay. It seems you're doing quite well after the surgery. It was very minor / major. So we can expect you to recover very quickly and well, but also there are going to be some lingering long-term effects. Either way, though, I hope you're doing well and you start to be more normal and mature and well adjusted.